Countless monsters suddenly swarm the mountaintop, and in the blink of an eye, they've surrounded a family desperately seeking refuge at its base. But the only shelter, a reinforced steel door, has been locked from the inside. The family outside hammers against the cold steel with everything they have, screaming until their lungs burn, but the people inside remain silent, pretending not to hear. Meanwhile, the monsters are growing impatient. They surge down the mountainside like a grotesque tide, driven by a ravenous hunger. If that door doesn't open, this family will be torn apart, devoured until not even bone fragments remain. The creatures are charging, their minds set on destruction. In a panic, the daughter screams, her voice cracking with fear, but still nothing. The door stays shut. In utter desperation, David has no choice. He grabs a crowbar, ready to make a final, suicidal stand to buy his family a few more seconds of life. But then at the last possible moment, the door creaks open. Go, 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 a voice yells. The family scrambles inside, tumbling over each other as they slam the door shut, just as a thunderous boom echoes from the other side, followed by a frenzy of impacts and shrieks. They're safe for now, but their terrifying journey has only just begun, because right now, creatures just like these are taking over the entire world. And the most chilling part? These monsters didn't just appear out of thin air. Humanity dug them up from 10,000 meters below the Earth's surface. Our story rewinds 15 years. A geological exploration company is conducting a routine drilling mission. But as the drill bit approaches a depth of 10,000 meters, the monitoring feeds suddenly glitch. Every technician on site hears a horrifying, heart-stopping sound reverberating from the deep. A cocky technician pushes the drill another 300 meters deeper, and then it gets stuck. The camera feed reveals a swarm of unknown organisms, creatures never seen before, climbing up the drill shaft. The crew zooms in, but no one can identify the species. The veteran engineers are stunned in the silence. This is 10,000 meters underground. What could possibly live here? To figure out what was happening, one of the braver technicians ventures outside to inspect the equipment, but without warning. Crunch! He's ambushed and torn apart by a creature that looks like a grotesque, mutated crow. One by one, the entire technical department is wiped out. At the same time, the project managers look out their window to see the sky blotted out by massive, bird-like monsters. The entire research base is enveloped in their shadow. It's as if the drill has opened a literal gate to hell, unleashing an endless stream of bizarre, unknown life forms into our world. They spread with terrifying speed, descending upon cities across the globe. Within moments, the skies are choked with swarms of these things. As if answering some silent, cosmic signal, they launch a brutal, coordinated assault on an unsuspecting humanity. These creatures don't just own the sky. They storm the streets, stampeding over people and tearing them to shreds. They smash through the architectural marvels of civilization, turning cities to rubble. This sudden, global invasion is an unprecedented catastrophe. In less than 15 hours, the monsters have infested every corner of the planet. World governments scramble their fighter jets, launching a desperate counterattack. Missiles streak across the sky, and bombs rain down, but nothing seems to make a dent in their numbers. Within hours, every continent is falling into chaos. Humanity is forced to escalate. Aircraft carriers deploy from every port, and nuclear warheads are unlocked, brought to the front lines for a final, desperate battle. Yet, the number of creatures just keeps growing, an inexhaustible, relentless tide of death. No matter what humanity throws at them, they cannot be stopped. Soon, the land and sea are completely overrun. Humanity has run out of options. Major cities are now nothing but ruins, and millions of lives have been extinguished in an instant. Just as it seems like the end of the world has truly come, something strange happens. After exactly 24 hours, the monsters suddenly stop. All at once, they retreat, burrowing back into the earth as if they've completed some dark mission. They vanish from the human world completely. No one can understand why. Later investigations revealed that on the day of the disaster, there was a total solar eclipse. It seemed these creatures could only leave their subterranean hell under the cover of an eclipse. So, when the sun returned, they were forced to flee. But that raised another question. There have been total eclipses before, So why hadn't the monsters appeared then? And why haven't they appeared during subsequent eclipses? Some began to whisper that this was a divine punishment, a final judgment from God. The day of the invasion became known as the Reckoning, a day to mourn the millions who were lost. To prevent another tragedy, humanity sealed the massive pit the monsters emerged from, naming it Hell's Gate. But no one knew if the disaster would strike again during the next total solar eclipse. While the world slowly rebuilt, a new global Homeland Security Department was formed. The original drill site was converted into a heavily armed military base, and similar facilities were built over deep fissures around the globe, all in preparation for the monsters' potential return. And so, for 15 years, humanity lived in a fragile peace, the memory of the catastrophe slowly fading. In the present day, Laura, recently divorced, is starting a new life. She drops off her son, Taylor, at her ex-husband David's house, planning to have dinner with her new boyfriend later that night. But just as David and his son are about to catch up, the phone rings. It's David's uncle with an urgent, terrifying warning. Get out now. Another total eclipse is coming. He tells them to get to his house immediately to take shelter. Ever since the first reckoning, David's uncle has been preparing for the worst, knowing you only get one chance at survival. Soon, ominous signs begin to appear across the world. First, a series of unusual seismic activities are detected near the fortified defense base. Then, along the coast of the Gulf of Mexico, countless marine animals wash up dead. All signs point to one horrifying conclusion. In 24 hours, humanity will face another devastating cataclysm. Just like 15 years ago, the demon legions from another world are about to launch their second attack. But this time, humanity is prepared. Shelters have been built in every major city, and news channels urge everyone to get ready. Laura quickly gets the news and calls David, demanding he bring their son back so they can head to a shelter together. Her new boyfriend has already used his connections to reserve them a spot. While no one knows for sure if the demons will return, seeking shelter during the eclipse is the only safe bet. Just as David is about to tell his son, he realizes Taylor is gone. As it turns out, Taylor has a new girlfriend, and the two are currently lying in a park, staring up at the blue sky. His girlfriend worries aloud about the coming apocalypse, saying she's too young to die. Before she can even finish her sentence, the sky fills with the sound of birds. In the distance, a colossal flock of birds blots out the sun, migrating in a panicked frenzy. The reckoning is about to begin. Fear spreads like wildfire. People pour out of the cities, desperate to reach the shelters. Highways instantly become massive parking lots. David, still frantically searching for his son, looks up and sees the strange behavior of the birds, realizing the crisis is imminent. Just then, his ex-wife sends him a location pin. She's tracked Taylor's phone and is heading there with her new boyfriend to pick them up. As humanity flees, the rich secure their spots in private shelters, while ordinary people are left to fend for themselves. But the horror is starting early. Even before the eclipse begins, a creature has already breached the defenses at the drill site base, a hellhound from the depths. A soldier is cornered by the beast, its body covered in bony spikes, and is brutally devoured. Gunfire does nothing but enrage it further. Back in the city, it's absolute chaos. Animals are stampeding through the streets, a chilling echo of the first invasion 15 years ago. David finally finds his son in the city square, and they embrace tightly just as the catastrophic warning sirens begin to wail. David grabs his son and his son's girlfriend, ready to run. Just then, Laura and her new boyfriend pull up. The reunited family wastes no time, speeding towards the designated shelter. But around them, others run with no destination, their faces masks of terror. In a bizarre, horrifying twist, some people dressed in strange robes welcome the chaos, worshiping the monsters and embracing their own destruction. The action is just getting started, and if you're enjoying this recap, take a second to smash that like button and subscribe for more. When David and his family finally fight their way to the shelter, they're told it's already full. Only women and children are being allowed inside. All adult men are being turned away. They're all stunned. David initially decides to have Laura take the two kids inside, but Taylor, refusing to leave his father behind, runs back out. Even though David and Laura are divorced, they are still a family. And if they're going to die, they're going to die together. David makes a new plan. They'll drive to his uncle's fortified house in the desert. But on the way, they hit a wall of traffic. The roads are completely gridlocked. As they sit there, trapped and helpless, the ground begins to shake violently. The total solar eclipse has arrived. The demon legions erupt from the earth, pouring out of the ground with a bloodthirsty energy. Tens of thousands of flying monstrosities and four-legged crawlers burst forth, as if on a timer. A scene of absolute, unprecedented horror. The eclipse pulls a curtain over the sun, and the entire world plunges into darkness. In an instant, the sky is swarming with monsters. David knows they have to get out of the city now. He knows a shortcut, but as he tries to take the wheel, Laura's new boyfriend refuses. It's his car. As they argue, red-faced and screaming, a giant bird-like monster swoops down from the sky and snatches the boyfriend, carrying him away like a rag doll. The full-scale attack has begun. More and more people are plucked from their cars, tossed around in the sky like toys. Terrified, David shoves his ex-wife and son into the car, slams his foot on the gas, and swerves off the road, escaping the death trap. With the highway completely blocked, their only path is a dry riverbed. But strangely, the flying monster that was chasing them suddenly pulls back, as if a greater danger lies ahead. Thankfully, it's not the rainy season, so the riverbed is clear. Honey, we're not sure where these things come from. Nobody knows why they're here or what they want. We call them demons, but that's just one of many theories. Some say it's God's will. Are they here to test us? Maybe. Others think they've just been here for a very, very long time. Just hibernating. Just waiting. What do you believe? I don't know anymore. But none of that matters right now. They've barely made it out of the city, and the car is already running on fumes. David suddenly slams on the brakes. Up ahead, the road is blocked by a graveyard of abandoned cars, clearly the site of another attack. He tells his family to stay put while he cautiously gets out to investigate. As he approaches one of the vehicles, he nearly gags. The person inside has been hacked to pieces, mangled beyond recognition. Shaking, he continues his search for a usable car. He finds one that looks empty, but when he pulls open the door and slides into the driver's seat, he feels a hand grab his shoulder from behind. An old man is hiding in the back seat, and just outside the windshield, a monster is hunched over a body, tearing it apart with a sickening, wet crunch.